You said you fear the American people are being given a false sense of comfort with these declarations of mission accomplished. Do you believe U.S. intelligence knows how much of a capability Iran maintains now?
I don't think we have final assessments. Let me, first of all, we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Secondly, the military performed an extraordinary mission. And I think they affected a great deal of damage to Iran's facilities. But the idea that the President of the United States, with no data, 2 hours after the strike, is suddenly hitting the standard of saying total obliteration, that leads us to think that they are out of the game. And we don't know that yet. And let's just be clear. You can actually set back the major program where they were trying to create, potentially, and there had been no decision made by the Ayatollah to actually move towards weaponization, but where they could have a weaponized system with a dozen plus missiles that are nuclear warned. But what they don't know is they didn't, and this was appropriate, I'm not criticizing the administration, they didn't go after the enriched uranium that was Esfahan at that base because it's buried so deeply.
They just hit it with tomahawks,
so
not the
fact that they can have still enriched uranium, they may have some ability to still cascade that, means they could still move forward on something that might be not delivered by a missile, but a bomb in a trunk of a car. And all I don't want is the American people, or for that matter, our allies in the region, to rely on a term that was set by the president before he had any facts.
Point taken there on the specifics of the rudimentary bomb. But coming back to what you just said, there had been no decision by the Supreme Leader to make a weapon. Secretary of State Rubio on this program last Sunday told me it was irrelevant, the answer to that question, because Iran had everything it needed to make and build a weapon. So based on what you know, was there an emergency? Was there a reason the U.S. had to act in the moment it did?
We were on the verge of what could have been a much greater war in terms of Iran and Israel spreading to the whole region. Was there the imminent emergency that would trigger? Because lots of presidents have looked at taking this action. I think that's very debatable. If at the end of the day, we end up where this peace holds and Iran doesn't strike back, hallelujah. But what we don't know, for example, is Iran going to try to hit us on cyber with this administration cutting literally half of our cyber security personnel in this country? So I just want to make sure that we do this in a measured way. The military did great. We have set them back. But let's not pretend that they don't have any capabilities. And the only way we can get resolution on that, Margaret, and Secretary Rubio acknowledged this in the brief, is if we have boots on the ground with inspectors. That means we've got to go to diplomacy. If America and Iran start negotiating this week face to face, that would be good.
And we will talk to the man who directs those boots on the grounds, potentially the inspectors, later on in the program from the IAEA. Thank you very much, Senator. We're going to have to leave it there. We'll be back